Compared to the half-step fourth-rank Dragonvein Doghead person's terror, the unknown existence behind the rhombus crystal stone was filled with immeasurable rage. It was on the brink of completely connecting a low-level floating land and would not allow failure at this moment. A more massive surge of black, tyrannical energy erupted from the abyss inside the crystal stone, and in the end, under the horrified gaze of the Dragonvein Doghead person, it all merged into its body. Bang! After a muffled explosion, the body of the half-step fourth-rank Dragonvein Doghead person burst into a cloud of blood mist. With the enhancement of this half-step fourth-rank blood mist, the spatial rift within the rhombus crystal stone suddenly widened considerably, and even the void inside it stabilized significantly. All of this happened in the blink of an eye, yet the terrifying column of light in the sky had already streaked closer. Just as the column of light was about to collide with the rhombus crystal stone, a gigantic pitch-black claw suddenly emerged from the space rift. Boom! The piercing ray from the super main cannon struck the black-scaled giant claw, causing a horrific explosion. Sizzling! The searing ray and extreme temperatures fiercely scorched the black claw, but the effect was difficult to describe. Both forces ended up in a deadlock. Above the vault of heaven, through the blasted walls of the temple, Song Kai and the others watched the black-scaled claw closely. "Dad, can you tell what kind of creature it is?" Inside the mountain, Song Shan, who still couldn't discern the origins of the black-scaled claw, asked Song Mingsong. It could. Song Mingsong, from inside the furious battle-mad lion, was just about to answer when he was interrupted by a sudden roar. Roar, roar, roar. A chorus of roars came from within the Dragonvein temple below, and looking down, numerous black figures could be seen suddenly appearing within the temple. These creatures had wings on their backs and bodies clad in pitch-black scales. Some stretched over 1 kilometer in length, others only 100 meters. Upon closer examination, it was clear they were being transported by the void passage below, during the standoff between the horrific claw and the light column ray. After recognizing these black figures, Song Mingsong on the other side immediately cried out, "Abyssal Magic Dragon." Hearing these 4 words, the minds of Song Kai and the others were flooded with numerous messages about abyssal magic dragons. Abyssal magic dragons, an extremely powerful race within the abyssal civilization, ranking in the 4th tier in the genetic bloodline chart of the Dingai Song family, were one of the peak races just below the peak groups of the Starry Sea. These beings not only possessed terrifying physical strength but also an innate gift of spirituality, beyond the reach of common creatures. They professed to have magical talents, which were distinctly different from regular magic, extremely powerful and known as dragon language magic. With this in mind, their gaze returned to the black-scaled giant claw in the temple below, fear apparent in their eyes. If merely a claw was of such size, then undeniably, attached to this claw must be an abyssal magic dragon of at least the 5th rank. Considering this, how could they not fear? At that moment, from the prow of the Kongchong, a nearly 3,000-meter-long mixed hollow extreme yang sword intent divine light suddenly shot out. Swish! The mixed hollow extreme yang sword intent divine light shot out at an unimaginable speed, crossing tens of thousands of meters in an instant, before fiercely landing on the black-scaled giant claw. With this strike, the previously gridlocked attacks instantly change. Even though an abyssal magic dragon of the 5th rank level had earth-shattering combat power, let's not forget that currently, it had only reached through infinite time and space to extend a single claw. As the mixed hollow extreme yang sword intent divine light struck, the pained dragon instinctively withdrew its claw. At the same time, taking note of this, 3 other warships simultaneously burst into action, with multiple purple and higher quality main cannons focusing their fire. Crack, crack, crack. Instantly, the rhombus crystal stone within the temple could no longer withstand the continuous attacks and shattered explosively. As the crystal stone broke, the space rift it had been connected to naturally started to collapse as well. The collapse of the void tunnel turned it into a maelstrom of endless chaos and void gangland, where even the terrifying 5th rank abyssal magic dragon behind them could do nothing. Ow! An angry dragon's roar echoed out from the spatial rift, expressing endless rage and unwillingness to accept this turn of events. A few seconds later, the spatial rift completely collapsed and the entire void fissure vanished. Seeing this, all across Song Chi's face bloomed radiant smiles. It was not only because the third-rank starry sea floating land under their feet would soon be under the complete control of the 10th direct vein, but also because of the dozens of second and third-rank abyssal magic dragons that had been teleported from the temple below in advance. These were all giant dragon race with pure bloodlines. Abyssal magic dragons, within the Western giant dragon system, are pureblood giant dragons with strong lineages, nearly third level upon reaching adulthood, and with a bit of fortune, breaking through to the 4th rank is not difficult. In addition, there are domination-level giant dragons among the abyssal magic dragon race. These dozens of pureblood abyssal magic dragons were truly valuable. Whether turning them over to the family or cultivating them themselves, great benefits would be reaped. Alright, let's try to capture them alive as much as possible. These are all treasures. Inside the furious battle-mad lion, as Song Mingsong was giving orders, he also said to Song Kai, "As for little Kai, you continue to deal with those remnant dog-headed beings of the dragon lineage. There won't be fewer than a 4-digit number of second and third rank dragon lineage dog-headed beings inside this temple. Don't waste them." Song Kai nodded, continuously controlling the Kang Chong to purge those dragon lineage dog-headed beings. Time ticked by, and after an hour, the Kang Chong's upgrade success rate reached 82%. 2 hours later, the success rate rose to 84%. 4 hours later, the rate had reached 87%. The continent beneath him was indeed approaching 4th rank, and it nurtured a significant number of second and third rank creatures. After clearing every last one of the dog-headed beings from the entire holy city, Song Kai continued to pilot the Kang Chong, wandering above the entire floating land. Although other regions had far fewer second and third rank creatures than the holy city, their numbers remained considerable, and the success rate of the Kang Chong's upgrade kept rising under its relentless search and hunt. After 7 days, Song Kai, who had almost trekked across the entire floating land, finally stopped searching. One reason was that there were hardly any remaining second and third rank creatures on the floating land, and the other was that the success rate for Kang Chong's upgrade had already reached an exceedingly high level. Warship Upgrade Mission. Kang Chong, current upgrade success rate, 95.3%. Special Upgrade Resource Formula, 3/3, Ice Origin Stone 1, 10,000 years Volcanic Magma Iron Essence 1, 3rd rank Blood Core 1. Additional upgrade resources. None. Bathed in the blood of an alien race. Half-step 4th rank dragon lineage dog-headed being. Total 85.2%. 95.3%. Looking at this figure, Song Chi's eyes flickered indecisively, but finally, he sought out his grandfather and the other two. In the meantime, a large number of clan members had been dispatched from within the Pulse to start developing the 3rd rank floating land, which had almost no creatures of 2nd rank or higher left. As for his grandfather and the others, aside from enslaving several dozen abyssal magic dragons and then sending them back to the family, they had left the floating land beneath them to explore the surrounding area, in search of the existence of other starry sea floating lands. Seeing his grandfather and uncle shake their heads one after another, Song Kai mostly understood the situation. The 3rd rank floating land underneath them was likely a solitary one, with no other floating lands in a vast area of the star domain. With this conclusion, Song Kai made his decision. Since that's the case, I'm going to make a trip to the Bailing Starfield. There are still plenty of 2nd rank Bailing tribe members there. After clearing them out, the Kang Chong's upgrade success rate should be able to increase a bit more. Upon hearing the 95.3% success rate, Song Mingsong and his two companions were at a loss for words. To them, this success rate was far beyond their expectations. If it were them, they would have initiated the promotion process without hesitation. Wasn't that what Song Kai wanted as well? Only by completing the promotion could he begin to implement the subsequent plans step by step. To be honest, he was more eager than anyone else. However, no matter how urgent, he wouldn't lose his reason. Promotion was not child's play, and even a 95% chance carried a certain risk of failure. Since he could achieve more, why not simply improve it a little further? It was just a matter of 1 or 2 months. With this thought in mind, Song Kai bid farewell to his grandfather and the other two. After returning to the Pulse through a transfer warship, he immediately proceeded to the Bailing Starfield. Additionally, he was concurrently hunting void demons in the Ruins Market. 1.5 months later, Song Kai, piloting the Kang Chong, arrived at the location of the Internal Affairs Hall within the clan. After turning in the Tri-Eye Soul Solidifying Ring component, he now had to apply for soul solidification through the Internal Affairs Hall. Your application has been submitted. Please wait, 7th Hall. Inside the Internal Affairs Hall, the clan member responsible for reporting the matter showed respect. Song Kai nodded and quietly waited on the side. After 1.5 months of hard work, having killed countless second-rank Bailing tribe and second- and third-rank void demons, he had finally managed to increase the success rate of upgrading the Kang Chong to 98.2%. After the success rate broke through 98%, the difficulty of further improvement increased once more. Enhancing it by even 0.1% became exceptionally tough. To achieve 100%, it would likely take at least another 3 months. In the end, Song Kai decided to forego further attempts and directly applied for soul solidification. Unable to afford further delays, with only 3 years left before he set out to explore the Tri-Eye race's flagship again, he couldn't waste more time on a success rate increase of less than 2%. Logically, with a 98.2% success rate, upgrading the Torch warship should have been a formality, with a nearly guaranteed success. There seemed no need to apply for soul solidification. Yet, Song Kai felt it was better to be safe than sorry, especially since the Silver 3 generation Superwave Magic Energy Detection Radar also needed to be removed, and this was a good opportunity to handle everything at once. As someone with priority usage rights, Song Chi's application was quickly processed. 7th Hall, your soul solidification appointment is tomorrow morning. Remember to come on time. The next day, inside a secret chamber within Dragonspine's Sacred Mountain, Song Chi's eyes revealed a strange glint as he looked at the Zhulu warship quietly docked in front. If his guess was correct, this Zhulu warship was highly likely not an ordinary 4th-rank warship. Purple warship armor, the purple main cannon, and that inexplicable sense of antiquity in its appearance. It was probably an inheritance warship. That is to say, the Zhulu warship in front of him was a ship that belonged to an ancestor of his family thousands of years ago, currently inherited by a clan member. At this thought, a flicker crossed Song Chi's eyes. Could it be that the clan has put forward an inheritance warship in exchange for that Tri-Eye soul solidifying ring? The more he thought about it, the more he felt that the possibility was significant. None of the Zhulu warships in the clan could forever renounce exploration of the alien star domain or refrain from leaving the family. If they equipped the Tri-Eye soul solidifying rings on these warships and they ventured out, there was a risk of loss. Compared to that, a 4th-rank level inheritance warship wouldn't have such concerns. They had lost the ability to be promoted, not needing to go out to seek promotion resources. At the same time, they were sufficiently capable of enhancing the Tri-Eye soul solidifying ring to a high rank, making them the most perfect choice. Shortly after entering the mountain chamber, an inquiring voice came from the warship ahead. Will it be direct soul solidification, or? Hearing this, Song Kai became even more convinced of his hypothesis. If it were truly a clan elder, then even though he was now in the clan's hierarchy, the elder would not use the words, "May I ask?" Since the other party did use them, it indicated that they were probably a member who had just bonded with the inheritance warship, and their level in the guidance technique was not high, either 2nd rank or 3rd rank. As for the quality of their torch seed, Song Kai surmised it must be no lower than the orange one, which could enhance the Tri-Eye soul solidifying ring to the 5th rank. And only by reaching the 5th rank could the effects of the Silver Legend component be fully utilized. A person with an orange torch seed, Why would they choose to inherit a Torch warship, abandoning their potential for future growth and being content to become a mere relic? Song Kai did not know the specific reason, but he could guess the likelihood. The reason was probably that the individual's original warship had been unexpectedly destroyed, all crucial components aboard gone, and with not enough life left to cultivate a new Torch warship, they had no choice but to inherit an ancestor's ship. But it wasn't too bad, after all. A 4th rank level inheritance warship, with the help of the 4th rank Ghost Energy cultivation platform aboard, was enough for the individual's guidance technique to eventually break through to the 4th rank. In doing so, they could live comfortably for 2,000 years, better than a stifled death right now. Directly proceed with the soul solidification. Summoning the Kongchong, Song Kai spoke his decision. Soon, 12 radiant beams shot out from the Zhulu warship in front, striking toward the Kongchong. As they successively entered the warship, Song Kai had the Kongchong activate the absolute closure state. In this state, even the owner of the Tri-Eye Soul Solidifying Ring component could not see which component he had chosen for soul solidification. Previously, he had been able to clearly recognize the components on the Furious Lion because his grandfather did not guard against him. Now, as he had initiated the warship's absolute closure, outsiders would not be able to know which components he had solidified. Looking at the 12 solidifying spirit beams before him, Song Kai hesitated for a moment, as he was selecting components for subsequent solidification. With only 12 components available for solidification, he naturally had to choose carefully. At this moment, the voice of that inheriting clansman came from the outside world again. After strengthening to 5th rank, the duration of components solidified by the soul solidifying ring reaches 20 days, with only a 10-day cooldown, so a second solidification can be performed after 10 days. Hearing this, Song Kai breathed a sigh of relief. A second solidification meant he could solidify 24 components, which was enough to unload all the essential components from the Kongchong. Soon, the first batch of 12 components was removed by him. Purusha Zen Seal. Immortal Realm 5 Elements Celestial Energy Shield, Neutron Star Core Armor, Enslavement Metal, Light Energy Aggregation Engine, Shikong's Number 004 Breeding Secret Realm, Pure Yang Swordbeam Cannon, Shadowbreaker Cannon, Crimson Fire Canopy Cannon, Brainwave Remote Control System, Void Assassin Clan Soldier Figurine Tree, External Armor-Piercing Cobalt Shell Launcher. After 10 days, he also determined the second round of 12 components. Silver 3 Generation Superwave Magic Energy Detection Radar, Totem Spirit Column, Tai Soul Suppressing Steel, Life System Medical Repair Pod, Phantom Thruster, Void Escape Orb, Plasma Guardian, Water Molecule Isolation Outer Membrane, Holy Cross Beacon, Proportional Scaling Instrument, Cold Light Heavenly Frost Cannon, Chassis Deployment Platform. Thereby, all components of purple quality and above on the Kongchong were dismantled, and Song Kai could proceed to upgrade with peace of mind. Do you confirm the upgrade of the Kongchong? Confirmed? An upgrade of the Torch warship did not take long. Merely a few hours later, under Song Chi's anxious wait, the warship's upgrade was officially complete. The originally mere 120-meter-long hull expanded directly to 1,300 meters, clearly much larger than a typical cruiser. However, having removed the decorations of warship armor, the visual appeal of the warship itself had indeed dropped by a large margin. Thus, Song Kai boarded the Kongchong for the first time, quickly reloaded the previously dismantled components. With the reloading of these components, the Kongchong's visual appeal also instantly soared back up. Besides the change in the hull, another significant change was the warship's cannons. In addition to a new main cannon slot, 4 secondary cannons also gained a module projection effect. Each secondary cannon would project 9 secondary cannon images equidistantly around the hull. Including the cannons themselves, this amounted to a total of 40 secondary cannons. Additionally, after the warship's upgrade from escort ship to cruiser, its inherent amplification of all basic components by 50% was further increased to 100%. That is to say, the might of all installed basic components would be double their own might, which nearly amounted to equipping all basic components with an orange quality effect enhancement feature similar to a third-rank enhancement, which was no small exaggeration. Lastly, as the hull level rose to LV-30, the Kongchong gained 10 more special slot positions, reaching a staggering total of 62. P.S. Regarding the Seed of Torch's previous rank upgrade, the number of slot positions increased every 5 levels, increased from 8 to 10 to 2 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. Yet at this moment, Song Kai was still holding a component, precisely that Silver 3 generation Superwave Magic Energy Detection Radar, which had been replaced by the Peeping Spirit Eyes. Now, he needed to quickly trade it away while the component's enhancement level was still in effect. Fortunately, he had made arrangements early on, and a senior third-rank clansman from the Heavenly Vein would buy this fourth-rank orange radar from him. As for the price offered, naturally, it was the value of an orange radar itself plus all resources for an enhancement to 4th rank. However, there would be a small discount, since Song Kai was in a hurry to sell. Fortunately, the difference was minimal, and by adding certain resources, he could generally elevate the Peeping Spirit Eyes of red quality to 4th rank. After several enhancements, Song Kai successfully enhanced the Peeping Spirit Eyes component to the 4th rank. Peeping Spirit Eyes LV-40 quality. Red feature. Detection range increased by 170%. Feature 2. Detection priority plus 2000. Feature 3. Peeping Spirit Eyes. Consumption. 500 per second. Spectral energy points. Detection range. 2.2 light years. Precision. 2200 up rank requirement. 5 strands of 4th rank floating land origin, 130,000 spectral energy points, 83 titanium crystals, 4 law stones. Peeping Spirit Eyes. Consumes 50,000 spectral energy points, charges for 10 minutes, performs a spiritual probe within 5/10 of the spatial radar's detection range, actively searches for all orange and below quality starry sea oddities within that range, cooldown time 240 hours. It was clear that as this red radar was enhanced to the 4th rank, its attributes improved significantly. Compared to the earlier Silver 3 generation Superwave Magical Energy Detection Radar, the attributes were simply incomparable. The detection range of Peeping Spirit Eyes extended up to an impressive 2.2 light years, meaning that even without the star chart collector feature, Kongchong could perform spatial jumps of over 2 light years in the alien star domain in the future. After acquiring this component, Song Kai immediately set his sights on enhancing the Void Assassin Clan Soldier Figurine Tree component. With everything ready, he planned to upgrade this component to the 5th rank in one go, then continue the exploration of the Tri-Eyed Royal Family's supergiant flagship. Of course, the first step was to acquire the micro-quality spiritual activated metal. Thinking about the micro-quality spiritual activated metal, Song Kai couldn't help but also think about his own guidance technique. It had been stuck at LV-29 peak for half a year without showing any signs of breaking through. Although he had mentally prepared himself, knowing that a breakthrough at a great rank wouldn't be easy, Song Kai still felt somewhat distressed that there had been no progress in half a year. So much so that after Kongchong was promoted to a cruiser, he began to consider whether to enhance the spectral energy cultivation platform on the warship to the 3rd rank, to help reduce the time needed for his breakthrough. After some thought, Song Kai still decided to upgrade it to LV-30. After all, he had plenty of 3rd rank and below floating land origins at his disposal, so missing a bit of it wouldn't matter. Shortening the time a little would also be good. Hopefully, the fire elemental life will speed up, Song Kai hoped. After the last trade at the Ruins Market, the fire elemental life had already provided a concrete response that they had found older firethorn fruits and it would not take long to acquire them. Song Kai had high hopes for this. Brushing aside the jumbled thoughts in his mind, he refocused his attention on the Void Assassin Clan Soldier Figurine Tree component. Are you sure you want to consume 4 strands of 4th rank floating land origin plus 90,000 spectral energy points plus 62 titanium crystals plus 3 law stones to enhance the Void Assassin Clan Soldier figurine tree from LV40 to LV41? Confirm. Costing 138 strands of 4th rank floating land origin, 720 titanium crystals, 129 law stones, and 1 strand of 5th rank floating land origin. Void Assassin Clan Soldier figurine tree component was successfully enhanced to the 5th rank. Once it reached the 5th rank, the number of Void Assassin Clan Soldier figurines that could be summoned increased from 35 to 40, and the rank of these soldier figurines also reached LV50. Although they were only pseudo 5th rank and could not even face a regular 4th rank lifeform head-on, their puppet bodies were significantly strengthened, which would presumably make exploring the Tri-Eye race flagship much easier. After strengthening these 2 components, Song Kai still had over 1,000 titanium crystals and nearly 100 strands of 4th rank floating land origin left. In addition, he had just over 100 law stones. If he wished to continue strengthening, he could still enhance some components. However, after seeing the Purusha Zen Seal component, he did not continue to use these remaining resources. Several members of his family had already approached him, indicating they had Sand of Time resources, but the deal was not yet final due to price issues. Nevertheless, it was just a matter of time. Therefore, he needed to save some resources to later enhance the Golden Holy Domain component. After enhancing several components, Song Kai glanced at his personal account. Golden Merit Points. 138. The previous trade of the Silver 3 Generation Superwave Magical Energy Detection Radar components brought his account's Golden Merit Points back to triple digits. Including the 2 ancient corpses that he had yet to trade, it could be counted as over 300 points. This amount of Golden Merit was already not small, but Song Kai was not satisfied. Now that the Kang Chong had been promoted to a cruiser, it had an additional main cannon slot, and he needed to quickly procure a high-quality main cannon. Moreover, according to his current standard, even the Orange Glory main cannon was not enough. He wanted a main cannon of at least red quality, since the might of the current, Pure Yang Swordbeam cannon, was clearly insufficient for a decisive role in battles. A more powerful main cannon was necessary. As for a red quality main cannon, it would start at least from 800 Golden Merit Points in his family, and top quality ones would even require over 1,000 points. The 300 points he currently had were far from enough. However, he had his own plans. Although he didn't have enough merit points on hand, there were still dozens of ancient corpses waiting for him to collect in the ancient Star Domain battleground. Including these, gathering over 1,000 Golden Merit Points wouldn't be difficult. Now that the Void Assassin Clan Soldier figurines had reached the 5th rank, it was time to initiate the next phase of exploration in the ancient Star Domain. Having made his decision, Song Kai did not dawdle. He quickly retrieved the Kang Chong and began to buy up various resources in large quantities from both the Family Merit Hall and the common floating land origin marketplaces. If nothing unexpected happened, he would mostly spend his time in the ancient Star Domain battlefield for the next 3 years, and without any important matters, he would not return to the Dragonspine continent. Thus, he had to prepare in advance the various resources that might be needed for dozens of future ruins market trades. Regarding the trades such as Terrastone, medicinal herbs required by Luofu Sword Sect, and plant seeds needed by the Trent race, Song Kai would leave an enslaved 2nd-rank humanoid alien in his own courtyard, along with dozens of storage capsules and a ruins market walking command, to facilitate the monthly resource handover from within the pulse line. At the foot of Dragonspine's Sacred Mountain, a corner of White Jade Square's warship docking area, the 1,300-meter-long Kang Chong and a 1,000-meter cruiser were docked side by side. In the communication projections of the 2 warships, Song Kai saw the Sand of Time resources he urgently needed. 7th Prince, this 500 grams of Sand of Time was mined by me years ago from a small asteroid. It's just that this stuff is generally only used by high-rank time-affiliated ship components, which is why it has been kept until now. Seeing that the other party was slow to get to the point, Song Kai took the initiative. "Uncle, what do you want to trade? I must remind you that 500 grams is far from enough to exchange for a millennium-grade dragon blood fruit, unless you can produce more Sand of Time." This statement directly choked off any further talking points from the man on the other side, a member of the fourth direct lineage who was considered to be of Song Chi's uncle's generation. However, the man's response was quick. At only 160 years of age, with many centuries until his life limit, he didn't have much real need for the dragon blood fruit at the moment. Thus, he quickly shifted his target. "If that's the case, then let's exchange for storage capsules." Hearing that the other party had shifted his interest to the storage capsules recently introduced by their lineage, Song Kai was not surprised. He had purchased these storage capsules at a low price from Elon of the Star Origin Empire, and after his grandfather's flagship was upgraded to a Zhulu warship and he himself became part of the family hierarchy, he had arranged for them to be sold by his elder uncle a while ago. The result had been without any hitches. The storage capsules had been a massive hit within the family upon their introduction. The first kind, with an internal space of 1 cubic meter and named Model 1, Song Kai had purchased at the price of only a strand of first-rank floating land origin. It was now sold within the family for 10 strands of first-rank floating land origin. The second kind, about 30 centimeters long with an internal space of 2 cubic meters, he had purchased from Elon for 5 strands of first-rank floating land origin. Its current selling price was 5 strands of second-rank floating land origin. The third kind, about 40 centimeters long with an internal space of 4 cubic meters, Song Kai had purchased for a strand of second-rank floating land origin. Now it sold for a strand of third-rank floating land origin. Even so, these storage capsules were still in great demand within the family, and they would have been sold out long ago if not for Song Kai having stocked them for a year or two in advance. This was also the result of timely purchase restrictions imposed by his elder uncle and aunt. After pondering for a moment, Song Kai then proposed, "What about 20 of each model of storage capsules?" Hearing his offer, the projection in front of him shook his head. After a lengthy bargaining session, they finally agreed on 35 of each model. After the trade was completed, the fourth direct lineage uncle controlled his warship and shot into the sky, while Song Kai made no move. He checked the resources in his hand. After a few days of trades, he had gathered 1,800 grams of Sand of Time, which was enough to perform a minor enhancement on the Purusha Zen seal. Forget it. The clan members who have resources like Sand of Time are pretty much these. There's no point in dawdling at home. It's time to return to the ancient Star Domain battlefield. With his mind made up, Song Kai promptly began the enhancement. After 12 consecutive enhancements and the consumption of 1,710 grams of Sand of Time, the Purusha Zen seal component was successfully enhanced to LV30. Purusha Zen seal LV30 quality. Gold. Feature 4. Time resistance plus 4200. Effect. When the equipped warship is affected by external time laws during an attack, it autonomously weakens 45% of its might. Zen seal. External time stop. Consumes 90,000 spectral energy points to cast on a targeted unit within a 1,000 km radius, pausing the time around it for 4 seconds, with a cooldown time of 480 hours. Pusuo time realm. Slow. Consumes 200,000 spectral energy points to concentrate a time barrier with a 300,000 meter diameter around the equipped warship as the center, within which time is slowed down by 7 times, including biological movements, reactions, thoughts, energy transfer, etc. Note: the warship that released the barrier is not affected, lasting for 10 minutes, with a cooldown time of 7 years. Beyond the third rank, the attributes of this gold component became even more astonishing. It was believed that its future assistance to the Kang Chong would reach an unimaginable level. However, unfortunately, with the component enhanced to the third rank, Song Chi's remaining Sand of Time was only 100 grams, which was insufficient to continue its enhancement. Moreover, as almost all the sand of time in the tribe had been exchanged away by him. For a long time in the future, it was unlikely that the component would be enhanced further. Thinking of this, Song Chi's eyes twinkled. Only option is to visit other star domains in the Confederation later on and see if I can trade for some more sand of time. With that thought, Song Kai glanced at the other resources on the warship. After enhancing Purusha Zen Seal, about 700 titanium crystals remained, with other components like 4th rank floating land origin and law stones untouched, allowing for further enhancement of a few other components. With this in mind, his gaze instinctively fell on the Pure Yang sword beam cannon and light energy aggregation engine components, both currently at enhancement level 49. With just one more level of enhancement, their attributes would see a significant increase. In the end, he used more than 200 titanium crystals, 2 strands of 5th rank floating land origin, dozens of strands of 4th rank floating land origin, and several law stones to successfully enhance both a red and an orange component to the 5th rank. In addition, Song Kai used hundreds of titanium crystals and several hundreds of strands of 2nd and 3rd rank floating land origin to enhance the Holy Cross Beacon and Crimson Fire Canopy Cannon components from level 20 to level 40. Thus, the attributes of the 4 components underwent significant enhancements, but after that, his various resources were almost depleted, and he could not think about further enhancements of other components in the short term. After finishing these tasks, Song Kai had no other concerns and controlled the Kang Chong to shoot up into the sky until he reached the depths of the Vault of Heaven, where he immediately activated Kang Chong's deployment to the alien star domain. Asteroid Belt, Humanoid Alien Race Habitat. After giving some simple instructions to the half-step 4th rank humanoid alien race, the Kang Chong entered the spatial wormhole ahead. Time was running out for Song Kai to explore, only 3 years remained, so he had to make the most of every moment. Exiting the spatial wormhole at the other end was an ancient shattered star domain. As the 1,300-meter-long Kang Chong burst out of the wormhole, Song Chi's gaze instinctively swept over the outer areas of this star domain. His brow was furrowed, for it was clear to see that compared to more than 2 years ago, the size of this star domain had significantly diminished, and even the periphery had 2 ordinary battlecruiser wrecks of the Tri-Eye race being devoured by the void. Thankfully, these 2 battlecruiser wrecks had already been thoroughly explored, so there was no loss. The only outcome was that Song Chi's sense of urgency further increased. There was no time to waste, he had to hasten his explorations. The only good news was that with the current installation of the Winged Launch Platform component, coupled with the Brainwave Remote Control System, providing up to 3 brainwave imprints, Song Kai could conduct explorations on 3 fronts simultaneously, significantly increasing the efficiency of his explorations. One team will continue to secure the surrounding area of the remaining dozen or so ancient corpses, trying to get them all into our possession as soon as possible, said Song Kai. Another team will go directly to the rare mineral storage room and slowly deplete the energy of the advanced alloy mech guardian there, seeking to obtain that micro-quality spiritual activated metal. A third team will continue to explore the other fissures in the hull of this supergiant flagship, striving to open a new entry route into the ship as soon as possible. In a short period of time, Song Kai had made plans for the considerable future. At the same time, with a thought, he summoned 40 Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines. After marking them with brainwave beacons, the first batch of 12 Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines were scattered and deployed. However, the results were not ideal, perhaps because they hadn't visited this star domain for over half a year. The location of the hidden traces of law had slightly changed. Not long after being deployed, all 12 Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines were successively annihilated by the energy eruptions of the traces of law. There was no choice. Song Kai could only wait patiently for the 2 launch platforms and the Brainwave Remote Control System components to recharge. Several hours later, once all 3 components were fully recharged, the second round of Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines was also deployed. Time passed day by day in this continuous routine. On the 15th day, the Void Assassin clan soldier figurine assigned to secure the area around an ancient corpse achieved success first, successfully creating a safe zone with a diameter of 1 kilometer. Subsequently, the Kang Chong transferred directly there using the Void Escape Orb, and then, with the proportional scaling instrument component, successfully retrieved the ancient corpse to the warship. On the 38th day, the Void Assassin clan soldier figurine responsible for continuously depleting the energy of the advanced alloy mech Guardian in the rare mineral storage room also brought good news. It had succeeded in depleting all the energy of the mecha with 5th rank combat power. After that, all the resources in the rare mineral storage room were brought back to the ruins market by the soldier figurines using storage capsules. Besides, the 4th rank void demon that died in this mineral room, its void crystal was retrieved by Song Kai. The body itself, however, had no other value. As this void demon had died from exhausting all of its vitality, not leaving even the slightest trace behind, it was no longer possible to refine 4th rank biological origin blood from its body. Inside the Kang Chong, Song Kai looked at the piles of resources in front of him, his eyes revealing an undisguised surprise. Micro-quality spiritual activated metal 3.2 kilograms, titanium crystals 3,500 pieces, lost stones 400 pieces. These were the resources procured from the rare mineral storage room. Aside from the micro-quality spiritual activated metal, the titanium crystals and lost stones were additional pleasant surprises. But for now, he was short on 4th rank floating land origin. Even with enough titanium crystals and lost stones, it was difficult to continue enhancing the high-rank components on the warship. He could only wait until he acquired enough high-level floating land origin to try further enhancements. As for the 3.2 kilograms of micro-quality spiritual activated metal, do not consider it too little. In fact, just 1 kilogram of this metal is enough to give a cruiser sufficient activity to have the ability to transform into a mecha form. This 3.2 kilograms of micro-quality spiritual activated metal is enough to further enhance the activity of the warship itself, allowing the ship's hull to have a certain self-healing ability, while also greatly increasing the duration the warship can maintain the mythical mecha form. Thinking of this, Song Kai did not hesitate to integrate all 3.2 kilograms of the micro-quality spiritual activated metal into the body of the Kang Chong. This integration involved the ship's hull itself, not the warship armor. Once merged, it would bring lifelong benefits to the warship. Even if the warship armor was replaced or the quality of his own seed of torch improved, there would be no impact on it. As the micro-quality spiritual activated metal fused with the hull, Song Kai could clearly feel a mystical sensation coming from the Kang Chong, indescribable in words. It was as if the warship itself had gained the ability to breathe, developing its own activeness. If the ship's hull were damaged in the future, it could slowly self-repair by absorbing the energy of the starry sea or relying on the energy provided by the ship's engine. With this thought, Song Kai felt tempted to try the so-called mythical mecha form, but his spiritual force had not yet met the requirement, leaving him full of helplessness. After suppressing the eager anticipation within, Song Kai returned his focus to exploration. On the 62nd day, a safe area around the second ancient corpse had been successfully established, and before long, the Kang Chong managed to tow it into the ship's cargo bay. On the 75th day, the two teams of soldier figurines tasked with discovering new entry routes to the ship did not disappoint. They finally opened up an entirely new access route. However, the result was utterly disappointing for Song Kai. Although this route successfully led to the interior of the supergiant flagship, it was merely a vast empty storage chamber that had nothing of value stored in it. It was so large that even 5th rank level Void Assassin clan soldier figurines couldn't fully explore the chamber. The closer they got to the direction of the storage room's door, the more terrifying the pressure became. Astonishingly, 5th rank level Void Assassin clan soldier figurines could only venture to within 200 meters of the door before they could go no further. Over 2 months, only a worthless route had been discovered. How could Song Kai not be disappointed? There was no other choice but to continue sending the two teams of soldier figurines to explore other routes. On the 93rd day, Song Kai didn't engage in any exploration or safe zone establishment because it was time for another ruins market trade. As usual, thousands of alien race members conducted their trades within the ruins market. In the free trading area, as soon as the ruins market began, a fire elemental life immediately sought out Blue Blood Clan, Song Kai. Their purpose was still to borrow a ruins market walking rank. This time I have a 4,000-year-old firethorn fruit, and I only need it for half an hour. After half an hour, that 4,000-year-old firethorn fruit, along with the travel command, will be promptly returned to your hands. Song Kai naturally agreed without hesitation and briskly tossed the ruins market walking rank to the other party. Regardless of what the other party ultimately sought, he only needed to know that a 4,000-year-old firethorn fruit was sure to bring his guidance technique up to a breakthrough at the third rank. Half an hour later, the fire elemental life did not let him down, indeed bringing him that 4,000-year-old firethorn fruit. After the ruins market trading concluded, Song Kai sat cross-legged atop the spectral energy cultivation platform, inside the Kang Chong, and without any hesitation, he swallowed the 4,000-year-old firethorn fruit. The effect this time was not as mild as before. Song Kai felt as though he had swallowed a mouthful of magma. An unbearable burning sensation started from his mouth, spread to his abdomen, and then turned his entire body into a small furnace. A massive amount of scorching heat emanated from within him, causing the temperature throughout the Kang Chong to rise. Enduring this uncomfortable sensation, Song Kai assumed the standard position for practicing the guidance technique and laboriously entered the practice of the spectral energy guidance technique. Song Kai was well aware that this sensation was due to the extremely high age of the firethorn fruit. The energy contained within a 4,000-year-old firethorn fruit had long surpassed that of the second rank, and if he couldn't quickly use this immense energy to advance his guidance technique to the third rank level, this vast energy would provide no benefits to his body. On the contrary, it could potentially damage his cultivation foundation. It was precisely because he understood this that he had to suppress the discomfort throughout his body and use this energy as quickly as possible to push for a breakthrough in his guidance technique level. Once he broke through, all of this would be resolved, and the immense energy would become a significant aid in his cultivation. It might even boost his guidance technique directly to levels 31, 32 in a short time, saving him a considerable amount of time. Under the circular guidance of the spectral energy guidance technique, the magma-like scorching energy in his body began to flow through his limbs and bones. Gradually, Song Kai felt the bottleneck that had been stalling his progress loosen. This was the first time in more than half a year that he felt a breakthrough was imminent. Sensing this, Song Chi's resolve grew even firmer, and the circulating speed of the spectral energy within him accelerated further, continually driving the hot energy to flow through his body. After some time, there seemed to be a faint crack in Song Chi's ears, followed by a sudden surge in the storage of spectral energy within his body, reaching a new height. Simultaneously, spectral energy surged throughout his body, with boundless dark energy circulating around him. A massive energy pressure instantly filled the Kang Chong. Besides, the previously magma-like energy within him now seemed to transform into merely lukewarm water, no longer causing unbearable burns to his body. Song Kai knew that he had successfully broken through to level 30 of the guidance technique. With the breakthrough, every aspect of his being had improved, including his resistance to alien energy. Guidance technique level 30. From this day on, I am also a genuine Starry Sea third-tier life form. Even if I make no further progress, I can roam the Starry Sea for 600 years. Thinking of this, a profound excitement naturally appeared on Song Chi's face, but he quickly composed himself. No, there's still the final step of life sublimation. Only after undergoing the third life sublimation will I be considered a true third-rank life. Furthermore, with this life sublimation, my spiritual consciousness will reach the point where I can perform 9 tasks with one mind. Just need to absorb that drop of 4th-rank soul-cleansing liquid, and I will transform into a genuine divine consciousness state spirit. Suppressing the excitement within his heart, Song Kai quietly awaited the arrival of the third life sublimation. Soon, an indescribable gentle energy enveloped his entire body, and in an instant, his tense body relaxed completely, with countless cells throughout his body absorbing the essence of this enormous life energy to transform themselves. Moreover, Song Chi's spiritual sense became incredibly clear at this moment. Under the baptism of this unknown energy, his spiritual force was rapidly enhancing. Time passed, and several hours later, when the third life sublimation was completely over, Song Chi's body had undergone earth-shattering changes. First of all, his physique had reached the third rank from the original second rank, and the blood chi energy inside his body had grown more than tenfold. Besides, his spiritual force had progressed from sevenfold mind utilization to being only a hair's breadth away from the divine consciousness state spirit. In addition, the amount of spectral energy in his body was beyond comparison to that of the second rank, and after ascending to the third rank, spectral energy could be released from the body. A vast amount of spectral energy overflowed from his body, surrounding him, and under Song Chi's deliberate control. This majestic spectral energy carried his body with it, lifting directly off the ghost energy cultivation platform. Indeed, after ascending to the third rank, a torch ship captain can walk on air, and this is even though I have just reached the third rank and am not yet familiar with the control of the spectral energy inside me. In the future, with merely spectral energy, I will be able to escape hundreds of meters in an instant, becoming a true superhuman. After briefly getting used to the changes in his body and the spectral energy within, Song Kai swiftly returned to the ghost energy cultivation platform and resumed the pose for practicing the guidance technique. The effects of the 4,000-year-old firethorn fruit within his body had only partly been consumed, and naturally, he couldn't let it go to waste. Time passed again, and half a month later, when Song Kai came down from the ghost energy cultivation platform, his level in the guidance technique had already reached LV31. Although he hadn't reached LV32, he had already traveled some distance on the road to LV31 and wasn't too far from LV32. At this, Song Kai couldn't help but marvel at the powerful effects of the 4,000-year-old firethorn fruit. A single spirit fruit not only allowed him to successfully break through the Great Barrier between the second and third ranks but also to further break through a minor level within the third rank. The effect was truly astonishing. Altogether, it had definitely saved him over 10 years of time. Thinking this, Song Kai looked down at the white jade porcelain bottle in his hand, which contained a droplet of 4th rank level soul cleansing liquid, and eventually, he gave up on the idea of absorbing it right away. His original plan was to use it immediately after breaking through in the guidance technique, but thinking of the time spent on the breakthrough, he managed to suppress this impulse. He carefully calculated the time spent on breaking through to the third rank and then absorbing the remaining medicinal effects of the firethorn fruit, which turned out to be nearly 2 months. In other words, for these past 2 months, he had completely stopped exploring the battlespace of the ancient star domain. And this naturally made the already scarce time even more pressing, so Song Kai decided to wait until after he had completely explored the battlefield of the ancient star domain before absorbing the 4th rank soul cleansing liquid. On the 168th day, the third ancient corpse was successfully drawn into the Kang Chong's cabin. On the 249th day, 2 sets of Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines successfully breached the nth entry route into the warship. This time it was not a dead end but a chamber storing various ranks of floating land origin. In this chamber, Song Kai harvested up to 10 million strands of 0 rank, 1st rank, and 2nd rank floating land origin, and there was also a frightening amount of 3rd rank floating land origin, totaling in the millions. However, frustratingly, there were none of the 4th rank or higher floating land origins to be found. Song Kai guessed that this mineral storage room for floating land origin was probably the lowest rank, and above it should be an intermediate rank, and even a high rank mineral storage room. Regrettably, just like the previous empty cabin, the 5th rank level Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines couldn't reach the chamber's door at all. The oppressive might that came from outside was so intense that Song Kai, who originally thought to try using the Tri-Eye Race Guardian Commander's rank to open the chamber door, had no choice but to abandon this idea. With no other choice, they had to let the two groups of soldier figurines withdraw from the corridor and continue to explore other entry routes into the ship. On the 382nd day, the seventh ancient corpse was successfully absorbed by the Kang Chong. On the 469th day, the 10th ancient corpse. On the 661st day, all 15 ancient corpses had been collected by Song Kai, who sighed at the sight of these ancient corpses, all reduced to about 60 meters in length by the proportional scaling instrument. Nearly 2 years had passed, and although all the ancient corpses were now in hand, the exploration of that supergiant flagship was still an arduous task. Over the past 2 years, aside from securing a batch of resources consisting of micro-quality spiritual activated metal, the only significant gain had been the 10 million strands of low-rank floating land origin. Of course, Song Kai was not satisfied with this result. How could there be only so little within the wreckage of a flagship belonging to an overlord-level civilization of such size? It was simply that his strength was too weak to fully explore the ancient flagship wreckage. On the 836th day, a great piece of good news was brought by 3 groups of Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines working together to open a new entry route into the ship. A brand new route into the ship had been opened, and it seemed to lead to the weapon armory of the Tri-Eye race flagship. One of the armory's doors was still completely open. Inside might be weapons from the overlord-level civilization that far exceeded imagination. Excited by this news, Song Kai sent 12 pseudo-5th rank Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines into the unfamiliar corridor of the weapon armory. Similar to the corridor in the mineral storage room, this was also an extremely long corridor, flanked by different armory rooms on both sides. Not to mention those in the distance, just the few armories visible to the Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines included Weapon 1 Armory, Weapon 2 Armory, Weapon 3 Armory, Weapon 4 Armory, Main Weapon Armory, and so on. The one with its doors wide open was the Weapon 2 Armory. Under the direction of Song Chi's brainwave imprint, the 12 Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines slowly made their way along the corridor towards the Weapon 2 Armory. Song Kai made a rough estimate, and he discovered that the might emanating from the corridor of the armory was somewhat stronger than that of the mineral storage room's corridor, but not by much. He believed that it shouldn't be too difficult for the current pseudo-5th rank Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines to complete the entire exploration. He was quite pleased with this outcome. After all, a weapon armory on a 7th rank warship of an overlord-level civilization should contain a multitude of weapons with astonishing might. If he could get his hands on those weapons, it would be of infinite benefit to him as a 3rd rank torch ship captain. With that in mind, there was suddenly a tremble in Song Chi's eyes aboard the Kang Chong. Through another perspective deep in his mind, looking through the wide open doors of Weapon 2 Armory, he witnessed a chilling scene. Inside Weapon 2 Armory, there were dozens of void demons. They congregated next to several weapons emanating rich radiance in the Weapon 2 Armory, slowly devouring the abundant energy within these strange objects. If they were just ordinary 4th rank void demons, Song Kai wouldn't have been so fearful. He had already killed a significant number of 4th rank units with the Kang Chong prior to this. The key issue was that among these void demons, there were those of the 5th rank level, and one of them was several times larger than the typical 5th rank void demon. Although he couldn't sense the pressure emanating from it, Song Kai guessed that this was most likely a 6th rank level void demon. While frightened, his face also showed immense distress, for the strange object weapons being gnawed upon by these void demons included several that radiated a red hue, clearly red epic quality ship cannons. The one being devoured by the 6th rank void demon was emitting a glaring silver radiance. The only relief was a transparent light screen barrier between the weapon armory and the corridor outside, preventing the dozens of void demons inside from detecting the presence of the Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines. Suppressing his anguish, Song Kai turned his gaze towards the other armories. Considering that there was a silver legendary quality ship cannon in Weapon 2 Armory, the others might contain something similar. Even knowing there was a special isolation energy screen in place, as long as the Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines didn't actively probe their puppet bodies into the screen. No matter how much noise they made in the corridor, the Void Demons in Weapon Vault 2 would not detect even the slightest disturbance. Song Kai maintained sufficient vigilance. The instructions from the Brainwave imprint were very clear. All 12 Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines moved with extreme delicacy, daring not to cause too much commotion. After all, there was only a single layer of energy screen for isolation, and right next to them were several 5th rank level Void Demons, plus one 6th rank Horror. It was always wise to be cautious. While holding his breath and focusing, Song Kai also looked tensely toward the other side at Weapon Vault 1. Whether he would be able to open the vault door hinged solely on the power of the Guardian Commander's rank in his hand. When he shifted his gaze, Song Kai did consider the possibility of snatching treasures from the clutches of those Void Demons. A silver miraculous item, and multiple red curios. Their value was immense, indeed worth taking a risk. However, after carefully considering the effects of the various components on the Kang Chong, he decisively abandoned this unrealistic notion. To snatch treasures from the jaws of death, it was necessary to have control over that 6th rank Void Demon and several 5th rank ones, and currently, on the Kang Chong, only the Purusha Zen seal has the power to do so. The problem, however, was that the Purusha Zen meditation seal had just been enhanced to LV-30, and it was uncertain whether it could affect the Void Demons inside a 7th rank warship hull, not to mention, even if it could ignore the 7th rank level hull. Song Kai could not guarantee that this component would definitely work on 5th and 6th rank level Void Demons. Golden Sanctuary components were certainly powerful, but as the enhancement level was only LV-30, could he really be sure it would work on beings of the 6th rank level? Song Kai dared not make such a guarantee. Shaking his head, no longer contemplating, he refocused his attention back on Weapon Vault 1 in front of him. With a silent prayer, one of the Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines approached the door of Weapon Vault 1. Beep beep beep. With the Guardian Commander's rank swept over the vault's specific authentication area in hand, Song Chi's heart leapt with joy as the door in front of him actually began to respond. Hiss, following the familiar sound, the airtight door slowly opened, but when Song Kai eagerly cast his view through the perspective of the Void Assassin Clan soldier figurine, he himself aboard the Kang Chong was suddenly taken aback. The interior of Weapon Vault 1 was nearly identical to what he had seen in Weapon Vault 2, if not even more chaotic. Inside the vault, not to mention the clutter, all the neatly arranged miraculous weapons had lost any hint of energy fluctuations and had been devoured by the group of Void Demons, reduced to a heap of scrap metal. As for how those Void Demons had bypassed the door to enter the vault, it was simple. The door may have been tightly closed, but there were several fissures in the hull of the weapon vault, and it was through these gaps that the Void Demons had entered the vault. Seeing this outcome, Song Kai found it hard to accept. He did not know the quality of the ship cannons once placed in this weapon vault, but at least the Red Epic level ship cannons would not have been few, yet at some point, these invaluable weapons had all been nibbled away and destroyed by those Void Demons. He viewed this as a terrible waste. Suppressing the rising anger in his heart, Song Kai again controlled the Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines, turning them toward the door of Weapon Vault 3. As for Weapon Vault 4, being on the same side as Weapon Vault 2 and adjacent to it, rashly opening the vault door could mean that if there were other Void Demons inside, none of the Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines would likely escape. Beep beep beep. Hiss, following the familiar sound, the door opened accordingly, resulting in no different outcome. All the ship cannon weapons inside Weapon Vault 3 had long since turned into piles of scrap metal as well. In the Kang Chong, Song Chi's hopes had sunk to the lowest, but he still forcibly gathered his spirits, continuing to control the Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines towards the main weapon vault. All along, his greatest expectation had been for this main weapon vault, which should have been the central repository of weapons for this ancient flagship beneath his feet. Its contents did not need to be stated. Moreover, as the main weapon vault of a 7th rank flagship of an overlord-level civilization, its defenses were bound to be the strongest area in the entire warship, The hulls of the other weapon sub-vaults could be torn apart, but this was not necessarily the case for the main weapon vault. With this thought, Song Kai directed a group of Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines straight to the main weapon vault. Once again sweeping the Guardian Commander's rank lightly over the door, this time was slightly different, as the door of the main weapon vault did not open immediately. It took a full dozen seconds before it apparently passed the verification, and the massive door slowly began to open. In the Kang Chong, Song Chi's heartbeat quickened. If the main weapon vault also lacked anything of value, then the months of root development would have been for nothing. With his prayers, his vision followed the perspective of the Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines looking past the door, and with this glance, he was transfixed. Gold light. A dazzling gold light entirely enveloped the weapon vault, and it was precisely this gold light that captivated Song Chi's gaze. If he wasn't mistaken, the golden light emanating from the main weapon vault at that moment was almost identical to the radiance previously emitted by the Zen seal, meaning there was a high probability that among the items inside the vault lay a golden sanctuary level miraculous item. Thinking of this, Song Chi's spirit suddenly became as unpredictable as a stormy weather. 1 second it was overcast with dense clouds, and the next the sun was shining brightly. Amidst the surprise, he didn't lose his sense of proportion. While suppressing the excitement in his heart, he controlled the 4 Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines to enter the weapons vault one after the other. His worries this time were somewhat unnecessary. Unlike the previous mineral storage rooms, there were no special alloy mechs guarding these weapon vaults. Additionally, since the weapons vault had been extremely well preserved for 100,000 years, aside from a few Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines, there was no danger present. Seeing the figurines effortlessly retrieve that large ship cannon radiating thick golden light, Song Kai began to wonder if he was dreaming. A golden sanctuary level marvel, and he got it so easily? However, he couldn't be bothered with these thoughts. Since the item was in his possession, it was naturally safest to send the cannon-shaped marvel back to the ruins market as quickly as possible. Only once it was back in the market could this weapon truly be considered his own. The 4 Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines carefully carried the marvel towards the end of the corridor. Outside the crack, a second rank level enslaved creature had already been dispatched. As it passed through the doors of Weapon Vault 2, Song Kai held his breath once more, praying in his heart that no accidents would occur at this critical juncture. Perhaps his prayers had an effect, or maybe it was the result of the separation barrier itself. Either way, no accidents happened along the way. The marvel radiating golden light was successfully delivered to the hands of the second-rank humanoid alien race outside the crack and then brought into the ruins market through a ruins market walking rank. As the golden sanctuary marvel was sent back to the ruins market, the 8 remaining Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines in the weapons vault managed to get hold of 2 orange quality marvel weapons and subsequently sent them back to the market. While Song Kai was satisfied with this, not getting any red or silver quality marvels still left him feeling slightly disappointed. After all 3 marvels were sent back to the ruins market, he instinctively turned his gaze to the unexplored weapon vault 4. With the mindset that the most valuable item had already been obtained, and it wouldn't matter much if he was discovered, he controlled one of the Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines to approach Weapon Vault 4 and gently brushed the Guardian Commander's rank over the vault door. Beep, beep, beep. Hearing the beeping sound and to be safe, Song Kai immediately let another figurine imprinted with a brainwave imprint take over the Guardian Commander's rank and head towards the crack at the end of the corridor. The Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines could revive indefinitely, but this Tri-Eye Divine Guardian Commander's rank was the only one. If it were to be lost accidentally, regret would be too late. Just as the Void Assassin Clan soldier figurine reached the edge of the crack, a violent crashing sound suddenly came from behind. Seeing this, Song Kai hastily controlled the figurine to throw the Guardian Commander's rank to the second-rank humanoid alien race not far outside the ship. Outside the exit of the spatial wormhole, within the silently suspended Kang Chong, Song Chi's expression was somewhat unpleasant. Just as he had anticipated, The Weapon Vault 4, adjacent to Weapon Vault 2, indeed housed a considerable number of void demons. As soon as the soldier figurine opened the vault door, it immediately alarmed the creatures. Several 5th rank level void demons took quick action. Under the terrifying space law, they quickly dealt with all the Void Assassin clan soldier figurines, including the one at the edge of the crack. It was a good thing he was cautious enough to send the Tri-Eye Divine Guard, Guardian Commander's rank back to the Ruins Market. Otherwise, trying to retrieve it a second time from the Void Demons would be as difficult as ascending to heaven. The several 5th rank level Void Demons reached the edge of the crack and scanned the area outside the warship body. Seeing no other figurines, they then returned to Weapon Vault 4 and continued to gnaw on several red-level Marvel weapons. Tens of thousands of kilometers away, inside Kang Chong, Song Kai calmed his spirit then suddenly disappeared, entering the Zhu Tian Ruins Market. In the designated walking room on the 3rd floor of the inn, Song Kai successfully received the 3 marvels that had been brought back. The Tri-Eye Divine Guard, Guardian Commander's rank was also collected by him. After leaving the inn and returning to Kang Chong, he began to carefully examine the specific attributes of the 3 marvels. The first marvel he inspected was naturally the ship cannon marvel emitting dense golden light. For this marvel, Song Chi's only hope was that it could be converted into a ship-mounted component. Only in this way would the value of the Golden Sanctuary marvel reach its peak. Marvel. Tri-Eye Divine Light Cannon. Quality. Gold. Convertible. Tri-Eye Blasphemy Cannon. Note. The super battleship cannon was forged by the Tri-Eyed royal family around a source orb left behind by the death of a grand 8th rank being from their clan, which has evolved over a long period of time and has been nurtured by a large amount of Tri-Eye divine power, ultimately turning it into a Golden Sanctuary quality oddity. Song Kai didn't linger on the attributes of the oddity for too long. Seeing that the item itself could be converted into a warship-mounted component, he desperately held back the excitement in his heart and continued to look at the attributes of the ship-mounted component. Tri-Eye Blasphemy Cannon LV0 Quality. Gold Feature. Blasphemy Tri-Eye Super Basic Divine Light. Feature 2. True Armor Piercing Feature 3. Main Cannon might increase 140%. Feature 4. Each regular attack by the main cannon has a 10% chance to trigger a triple strike. Feature 5. Charge time for regular main cannon attacks reduced by 20%. Consumption. 4,000, shot, spectral energy points, attack, 360. Charge. 4 minutes. Buffer. 10 minutes upgrade requirement. 40 strands of floating land origin, 0 rank. 4,000 spectral energy points, 1 kilogram of lumenstone. Limitation. Can only be loaded in star-annihilating cannon slots. Blasphemy Tri-Eye Super Basic Divine Light. Consumes 100,000 spectral energy points, charges for 24 hours, and triggers a super basic divine light with the might of a star-annihilating cannon at 1000%, obliterating everything in its path, with a buffer time of 720 hours. True Armor Piercing. Ignores regular defense attributes, can deal 100% damage to energy shields, warship armor, biological scale armor, etc. After seeing this terrifyingly high-quality Golden Sanctuary warship cannon, Song Kai profoundly understood what it means to experience a great rise and fall. When he saw the astonishing attributes of this main cannon, his smile was radiant. But when he saw the final limitation, his heart immediately sank to rock bottom. The star-annihilating cannon. This was indeed a star-annihilating cannon, leaving Song Kai somewhat downhearted. It wasn't that the star-annihilating cannon was bad, on the contrary, it was too good. So good, in fact, that an ordinary torch warship without a slot for a star-annihilating cannon simply couldn't mount it. And what rank of warship could possess a star-annihilating cannon slot? As far as Song Kai knew, within Torch human civilization, only Torch warships that reached the 7th rank could be called star-annihilating warships, the kind used to suppress the fate of civilizations. The Kang Chong had only just advanced to a 3rd rank cruiser, a far cry from a star-annihilating warship. That is to say, he couldn't use this Golden Sanctuary quality warship component at all, not now, and possibly not even in 100 years or 1,000 years. Thinking of this, Song Kai felt quite disheartened. How was this different from having billions of cash in front of him in his previous life, yet being told he had no rights to it? After a moment of helplessness, Song Kai could only comfort himself by thinking that having it was better than not, and in the future, he could use this Golden Star annihilating cannon to show off in the Zutian Ruins market. With a Golden Sanctuary oddity on hand, who would dare doubt his status as the Ruins market lord in the future? Finally adjusting his mindset, Song Kai stopped dwelling on it and quickly sent the Golden Sanctuary quality warship cannon into the Ruins market, placing it in the most prominent position of the oddity exchange shop of the market. Then he returned to the Kangchong and began checking the remaining 2 orange oddities. As the saying goes, a fortune never comes in pairs, a misfortune never comes alone. Following that was an inspection of another orange oddity, which dealt Song Kai a heavy blow. It turned out to be a strange object ship cannon that couldn't be transformed into a ship-mounted component. As a ship cannon of orange quality, in theory, no matter what warship it was mounted on, it would be an extremely powerful weapon. However, torch warships were different. Being unable to transform into a ship-mounted component meant that the spectral energy system of a torch warship could not achieve perfect synergy with this ship cannon. Having multiple disparate energy supply systems on one warship would inevitably lead to various conflicts during battle. Therefore, for a torch warship, this kind of ship cannon that couldn't be transformed into a ship-mounted component not only wouldn't enhance the warship's combat power but might also impair its normal performance on the battlefield. However, the fact that torch warships couldn't mount it didn't mean that such strange object ship cannons could only be sold at half price like other untransformable strange objects. Although torch human civilization followed the torch warship system, in large-scale interstellar wars, torch warships weren't the only unit of force. Other elements, such as mobile warstars and standard fleets, were also vital parts of interstellar warfare. And these strange object ship cannons that couldn't be transformed into ship-mounted components could be mounted on mobile warstars or standard large warships, enhancing the firepower of these combat units. As Song Kai knew, the Song family had been buying these untransformable strange object ship cannons for years. Although the purchase price was only 80% of an ordinary component of the same quality, it was much better than half price. Besides, one shouldn't forget the Ruins market. Without going into details, it was highly likely that both Goblin Luke and Elon of the Star Origin Empire would be quite interested in this orange-quality strange object ship cannon. It wasn't impossible to sell it later at the price of a regular orange component. Having put away the orange oddity ship cannon, Song Chi's gaze moved to the second orange ship cannon. This time it was more normal. The ship cannon could be transformed into a main cannon component of orange quality. Annihilation Beam Cannon LV0 quality. Orange feature. Particle Annihilation Wave. Feature 2. Increases main cannon might by 40% consumption. 500 shot, spectral energy points. Attack. 27 charge. 10s. Buffer. 60s up rank requirement. 10 strands of floating land origin. 0 rank. 1000 energy points. Particle Annihilation Wave. Consumes 2000 spectral energy points. After charging for 5 minutes, fires an annihilation particle wave in the designated direction with 200% of the main cannon's might. Buffer time 72 hours. Looking at this main cannon, Song Kai was tempted to mount it on the Kangchong. He was currently missing a main cannon, but after hesitating for a moment, he decided not to do so. As mentioned before, an orange glory quality main cannon, for the current level of the Kangchong, was not enough to play a decisive role in a major battle, which was clearly not what Song Kai wanted. In his opinion, only a main cannon of red quality would suffice. Having made his decision, Song Kai naturally didn't hesitate any longer and directly absorbed the orange component into his ancestral aperture. In the following months, a group of Void Assassin clan soldier figurines continued to open up other entry routes into the ship, but the final results were frustratingly either dead ends or connected to sections of the ship that were of no value. Inside the Kang Chong, Song Chi's eyes followed the projected image in front of him and gazed out at the shattered starry sea filled with void rifts. Sigh, it's time to leave. Compared to 5 years ago, the size of this starry space has shrunk by more than half. I must report this to the family. Today, it had been 3 years since he had arrived in this ancient star domain, and just the right amount of time he had set for his solo exploration, 5 years. After sighing, a heartfelt smile once again appeared on Song Chi's face. In these 5 years, he had gained enough from this star domain. A golden oddity, 2 silver miraculous items, a red quality mobile secret realm, a starry sky plant, silver apple mother tree, more than a dozen peak 4th rank ancient corpses, 2 4th rank level enslaved creatures. With so many gains, any single item, if placed in the hands of other 2nd and 3rd rank torch captains, would be a fortune of a lifetime. With such bounty, what more could he want? Yes. In that distant flagship of the Tri-Eyed royal family, which was an ancient supersized warship, there were undoubtedly many more treasures, but the time left was insufficient for further exploration, and the 5th rank level Void Assassin Clan soldier figurines were not capable of completely exploring the remnants of this 7th rank level ancient flagship. Given that, rather than letting the Void Demons benefit, reporting to the family was indeed the best decision. With the Song family's background, Song Kai believed that they could gain the most from the remnants of the ancient flagship, and he might even receive some rewards from the family later on. Of course, the primary reason for deciding to report to the family was not this, but the Song family's values, which instilled confidence in Song Kai that he would not face unjust treatment later on. If the Song family were the kind of family where internal strife was uncontrollable, whether Song Kai would report this starry space today would be another matter. Because in such a case, he couldn't be sure whether the old ancestors of the family would covet what he had, given that no one knew how long he had discovered this ancient star domain battlefield or how much he had benefited from it, and it wasn't impossible to attract the covetousness of a 5th rank torch captain.